Love Ki Ghanti 1. You can't decide when it rings. Written by Mr. Deepak Satya. Chapter 3. A few moments before death. Oh Baba, hey, get up brother, it is time to open the showroom. The boss will scold me. Saying this, the watchman with the help of his stick, woke up the young sadhu, monk, who was sleeping in front of the showroom only 3 hours ago. This new showroom of clothes, lying on the way from Dehradun to Haridwar, was built in the middle of a small market. There were small shops next to it, and there were small shops on the other side of the road too. This small market with a single showroom had houses at one end, and fields at the other end. The young monk stood up apologizing. He ordered his eyes, which were repeatedly closing due to pain, to wake up again and then started his journey. This young sadhu named Tattal was called Kalank, slur, by the other sadhus. In the modern age, where sadhus were called swindlers because of their misdeeds, Tattal was such a sadhu who was often swindled by common people. Before leaving for Haridwar 2 days ago, Tattal had enough money for the bus fare, but before the conductor arrived, a thief had robbed the young sadhu's pocket. On a special occasion, Tattal set out to perform a special puja, religious ritual, on the banks of the Ganga, facing many obstacles. Donation was a distant thing. No one had even given him a lift. Tattal had to travel on foot like the old sages. He had no problem walking, but he was fully aware that some evil force was preventing him from performing the puja. With a completely healthy mental state, he had to start a special puja before noon on the banks of the Ganga, even though he had just reached Dehradun. He was extremely tired and also suffered from sleep. That means that he was not going to reach Haridwar on time, nor was he mentally healthy. In such a situation, he slept outside the showroom, but after 3 hours he was chased away from there too. Tattal started walking again with half-opened eyes. On the other hand, on the way from Dehradun to Haridwar, Raju saw a truck coming from the front. That truck gave immense happiness to Raju, who was moving ahead with the sole desire of ending his life. He increased the speed of the bike. The bike, which was running at a speed of 120 km per hour, started accelerating to a speed of 150 km per hour within a few seconds. While Raju was ready to commit suicide, the truck driver, who had fallen asleep after taking a heavy dose of drugs, was indirectly ready to kill Raju. Becoming a truck driver is not considered a good thing in Bharat. If we pay attention, this is absolutely correct. An example of this can be seen by looking at the situation of this truck driver. This truck driver named Bablu was a brilliant student when he was young. Due to some social problems, poverty came to his house, and he had to leave his studies and become an assistant to a truck driver. When he realized the life of a truck driver for the first time, his soul trembled. From their city, i.e. Pune, Himachal Pradesh, these people loaded goods in trucks and reached Mumbai, Maharashtra without stopping. Their truck was evacuated in 3 hours. Despite that, these people remained sitting in a truck in the parking lot of a truck union for 1.5 months. When Bablu asked his maestro why they were not going home, he replied, "We will return only when the truck is full." Hearing this, Bablu was so upset that he decided to leave this job as shortly as he reached home. After 1.5 months, the truck was loaded with goods, and they went on a non-stop journey to Panipat, Haryana. After going there, they got the goods to be delivered to Ludhiana, Punjab, on the 3rd day itself. After going there, within 2 hours they got the goods to be delivered to AMB, Himachal Pradesh. Then they reached their home after a total of 50 days. When Bablu left the house, sowing had just started in the fields. When he returned, there was greenery in the fields. When a common man leaves home to earn, he returns home even after working for 14 hours. After eating home-cooked food and seeing the faces of his loved ones, he rests on the bed. But when Bharatiya truck drivers go to work, they do not know when they will return home. They eat food at dabas and sleep in their trucks. To ensure timely delivery, they consume such intoxicants which save them from natural fatigue and sleep. They do not get the chance to see the faces of their loved ones. They don't get their own bed. From my point of view, the life of truck drivers is as difficult as that of our soldiers. The only difference is that soldiers get pensions, but truck drivers get only contempt and hatred. Very sad, Bablu told his parents that now he will not go to work as a truck driver. But they did not listen to him, because there was no other employment in that area. 14-year-old Bablu's fate was sealed as a truck driver. Living in inhuman conditions, Bablu also started taking intoxication and started visiting prostitutes he met on the way. For intoxication dealers, truck drivers are not only loyal customers, but they are also guinea pigs on whom all the new intoxication coming into the market is tested. 24-year-old Bablu had also taken a similar intoxication to induce sleep. The effect of that drug was reversed, due to which Bablu had become sleepier. His tired mind did not even realize when he had fallen asleep with his foot on the accelerator. Therefore, sleeping Bablu was unknowingly ready to take Raju's life. Raju was coming towards the truck at a speed of 150, while Bablu was coming towards the bike at a speed of 80. Raju quickly passed through the market with the only showroom. Many passers-by first jumped left and right, frightened by his speed, and then started abusing him and saying that he would die today. One of those passers-by was Tattle, who was walking, ordering his half-opened eyes to wake up. When Tattle saw that the bike rider's destination was a truck, his eyes, which were closed due to fatigue, immediately opened after seeing this scene. He started chanting a mantra. It was impossible for Raju, who was going at a speed of 150, to hear that mantra, but I don't know how Raju and the truck driver also heard that mantra. Raju took his hand off the accelerator, and the truck driver took his foot off the accelerator. Raju turned the bike to his left, and the truck driver turned the truck to his left. That day, about 80 people witnessed a miracle together in the market. Both the vehicles had turned just 20 meters before the collision. The biker had turned towards the flooded wheat fields on the left side of the road, while the truck rider had turned towards the sugarcane fields on the right side of the road. The eyewitnesses shuddered at the thought that if this attempt to prevent the collision had taken place 50 meters ahead, many lives would have been lost, and many shops present in the market that day would have been destroyed. As shortly as the bike entered the wet field, it slipped a bit and Raju fell down. After falling down, the first thought that came to his mind was why he was attempting suicide by wearing the original ISI-marked helmet and tying the helmet strap tightly. On the other hand, the truck driver, seeing the truck entering the fields, was reacting as if someone had diverted his truck toward the fields. Vehicles coming from both sides stopped. People went and checked the safety of both of them. As shortly as the public came to know that both of them were safe, they started abusing them. Raju was much younger than the truck driver, so people considered him a child and abused him more. The strange thing was that Raju and the truck driver were not paying attention to the abuses of the people. Both of them were puzzled, and were searching in the crowd for the face whose mantras they had heard. The driver was facing the effect of intoxication, and probably did not see Tattle, but Raju saw Tattle sitting on the side of the road with his back towards him. Don't know how, but Raju knew that he had heard the voice of this person. So he completely ignored the crowd and their talks, and went straight towards Tattle. Some in the crowd thought he was in shock. "I am fine, you all please return to your work." Raju requested everyone with folded hands, and immediately went towards Tattle. Tattle was sitting on the roadside with his back towards Raju. When Raju, covered in mud, reached Tattle, he saw that Tattle was out of breath. I don't know how Raju understood that this young saint had saved his life by using all his strength. Raju held his feet. "He is a drug addict," said a person passing by after seeing Raju's behavior. Raju ignored that person completely. "You should not have saved me," Raju said. "I have made a mistake, I will not do it again," Tattle said with great difficulty while trying to breathe, and Raju smiled. "Are you going somewhere?" Raju asked. Tattle nodded and pointed with his finger. "Should I drop you?" Raju asked. Tattle looked shocked at Raju's motorcycle. Raju smiled because he understood Tattle's gesture. He bowed to the young monk and started back. Tattle looked at him for a while, then he smiled as if he was about to do something very stupid. Maybe that's why everyone calls me a kalank in the name of saints, Tattle said to himself and stood up. Elder brother, I don't have the potential to walk now. Have to take a bath in Ganga Ji by 11:30. Will you get it done? Saying loudly, Tattle asked Raju for a lift.